Well, hi everybody. I'm going to do something a little different from what I normally do here, which is kind of a first impression video on the Aeroplane Heaven P-51. Now, I did purchase this on its release date today, which is the 17th of January, and I've really only flown it around for about 30 minutes maybe. But I thought I'd go ahead and get this out for my 9 subscribers. Thanks, by the way, y'all. But anyway. Basically, what I'm going to do here is run through my first impressions and a couple of the features of the P-51 here. And I hope at least by the weekend, maybe over the weekend, to have more of a full review and tutorial video out for the P-51. Now, I will say before I start that I'm going to probably be comparing this to the Aeroplane Heaven Mark I Spitfire and some of the other warbirds in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and also the Reno P-51s. So I'm going to start here by saying that I was a little skeptical of this plane, especially after my experience with the Aeroplane Heaven Spitfire. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Now, there may be some things here or there in the cockpit or around the plane that I think they could have done a little bit better of a job with. But overall, I think Aeroplane Heaven, at least in my opinion, have redeemed themselves as far as making a decent plane here. All right, so a couple of things that we're going to run through here in the cockpit. One, it does look pretty good. Now, I guess it could be a little bit better. It does look nice and beat up. I think that's always a nice touch. The exterior looks the same way too. But as far as the comparison between, let's say, the Mark I Spitfire, I think the textures in here and the overall quality of the model are much better than the Mark I Spitfire that they made. In comparison to, let's say, maybe Flying Iron or Milviz in terms of their warbirds, it's not as good as those. It's not terrible. You can kind of see it here. There's some things that could be a little bit better, but again, I do actually like the plane, so it's not something that really I found to be too disappointing or anything like that. And as far as the Reno ones go, the Reno ones do look better than this on the interior. But considering what actually works in here, versus what works in the Reno ones, this is a much better. It's much better than the Reno ones. So before we kind of hop outside and take a look at the exterior of the plane and everything that kind of comes with it, if you've never had an Aeroplane Heaven plane before, they don't really have a tablet or anything like that, but they do have a number of neat little features. They tend to hide everything in switches, or they swap out maybe a switch that isn't functional in the game for some sort of option. So for instance, you can remove the engine covers, and we'll go ahead and do that. You just flip this switch and it's hidden the whole time. You can swap out a number of other things in here too. And then the other cool thing I thought was that you can open up the starboard and port gun hatches here. So you can look at the 50 cals and the ammo and everything. Alright, now one thing I did notice that I thought was kind of cool was that when you adjust the propeller pitch, so if you move it, if you decrease it or you increase, the blades will actually change their pitch. So I haven't noticed that on any other Microsoft Flight Simulator planes, or really any of the planes in here. I might have just missed it, but I just thought that was kind of cool. Now, as far as the exterior goes here, I think it's pretty good. There aren't any gaps in the model, at least as far as I could tell, and the textures do look really good. As far as a comparison between this one and the other warbirds, it's at least on par with those. The worn, used look, I think, makes it look pretty good too. I also think it's pretty neat that you can look at the engine. Now, it comes with, I think, 16 paint schemes. You get the sort of standard famous P-51s plus 3 civilian ones. Also, you can swap out this dude here for the standard Microsoft Flight Simulator pilot. I also do think that the attention to detail in here is pretty good. As a good example would be the bore sight and like load ammo loading info on the underside of the hatch here. Um, it does come with bombs and drop tanks. I'll kind of be interested to find out whether or not they affect the performance of the plane. Now, in my short 30 minutes of flight time, I didn't notice any kind of glitches or anything like that with the plane. But if I do, I'll be sure to include them in the review. So, which I do hope to get out by the weekend, but we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much going to be it. I'll say that I do like it so far, and thanks for watching, y'all.